Start here, Star Citizen. This is a quick start guide updated for Alpha 3.3.5, giving you the basics of how to get started in Star Citizen's persistent universe. Star Citizen Alpha 3.3.5 is the latest version of the game, expanding the gameplay area up many times compared to what it was previously, with the first full planet Hurston, 4 new moons, and a huge amount of space. But please bear in mind that the game is still very much in its alpha development. There are very few gameplay loops, there are bugs, large portions of the core tech aren't completed, even the core flight model is still being worked on and is getting a big revamp in March 2019 with Alpha 3.5. There are no hard release dates other than they plan to release a major update once every 3 months. A lot of what we're going to be getting for the next couple of years will be for testing purposes, to help guide and iterate on systems, to build out the mechanics and work out balance, all through the process of community feedback and iteration on that. More heavy balance and full persistence and polish will come much later, and as such, Star Citizen is only suitable at this stage for players that want to get involved with that type of open development alpha project and give feedback based on their experiences. Game packages. To play Star Citizen, you need a game package. They are $45 and come with a choice of 2 ships, an Aurora MR or a Mustang Alpha. You can upgrade your ship later if you so wish. However, the Mustang Alpha is my preference, but it's your starter ship, so you can choose whatever you like the look of most. The Mustang Alpha is worth $5 more if you upgrade it in the future, though. Everything else will be obtainable in-game in the future. Once you have installed and ran the game, click Universe. You'll be prompted to create an avatar. You can change this later, though. Click Stanton System. If you have any friends that are playing, basically people that are added to your contacts list, you can join them from here, or you can click Visit Location to enter the verse. You'll wake up in a small bedroom on Port Olisar. Press H to get out of your bed. Pressing H in general will allow you to leave any seat or station in the game. Pressing H is your friend. Walk to the door and interact with it by holding F down and left-clicking the lock to open it. When you hold F, you will see an orange highlight if you are close to an object that can be interacted with, such as airlocks, doors, consoles, terminals, seats, cockpits, lots of different things. Spawning a ship. Leave the hab area and make your way down the nearest set of stairs to the central terminal room. In Port Olisar, this is where you spawn a ship. There is a big selection of terminals to use. They all do the same thing in that central room. Interact with the console, holding F again, and then left-clicking. Select your ship that you want to spawn by clicking Retrieve on that ship. The terminal will tell you where to locate your ship. It will say it's on B pad 0 or whatever. You can follow the signs to get there, but make sure you remember where it is. It is also shown on your HUD, so please bear that in mind. If you lose your ship or it gets destroyed, you will need to click the claim button. You'll have to wait a few minutes or pay expedite fee of in-game currency to get that ship quicker. If you want to try and track a stolen or lost ship, you can click the track button. Once you're at your ship, you want to get into your ship. You may have to enter the cockpit seats separately depending on your ship, but enter through the door by holding F again, and then open the door, and then go up to the seat and use the seat. Alternatively, some ships you'll just literally go in straight through the cockpit. There'll be like a set of stairs or an interactable object near where the cockpit actually is. Now, you want to turn on your ship now. This can be a daunting process. Hold F and find the Flight Ready button on the dashboard and then left-click it. Alternatively, you can set a key for this in Options, Keybinds, Flight, Cockpit, and basically at some point it is worth customizing your controls. Flight Ready mode, toggling it, is worth setting to a key, most certainly. Now, your ship's moving. You can control your throttle with W and S on the keyboard. You can toggle your landing gear by pressing N. Pressing Control will move you down. Space will move you up. A and D will strafe you. Q and E will roll you. If you just want to take off simply, just press space and you will take off. You will need to press N to retract your landing gear before you can actually start to move at normal speeds. You're basically in landing mode when you've spawned your ship. Also, you will start off in an armistice zone, and landing zones in general are typically armistice zones, meaning you can't fire your guns there. But as soon as you get out to a certain distance, you will be able to. Pressing F4 will take you into third person, and then you can press Z, and Z will unlock the camera to move around when you're in third person. Press Z again to relock the camera. You can also use Z while in first person mode, while in a cockpit, to look around the cockpit. But make sure you press Z again, otherwise you won't be controlling your ship. There are various missions to do in the verse, which you can access from the contract manager on your mobiGlas. F1 to access your mobiGlas, and the bottom right icon is the contract manager. Just select a mission there and accept it. I recommend only accepting one at a time though, especially when you're just starting to learn the game. It will then appear as a marker on your star map and on your HUD. The delivery and maintenance missions at the moment require you to have somewhere to put a cargo box in your ship. And as a rule of thumb, if you can walk onto your ship without having to interact with an item that pulls you up a ladder or jumps you into a cockpit of a ship, if you actually have room to walk around that ship and place a box, then you can probably do a delivery or maintenance mission. The Auroras and the Mustangs, those starter ships, cannot do them at the moment. Just make sure you read the mission, exactly what it is, exactly where it wants you to go, and then find it on your map after you've accepted it. You can abandon these missions at any time, so don't worry if you make any mistakes here. The star map. So, the star icon at the bottom of the menu is used to plot long-range quantum jumps. You'll be able to use your mouse to move around, and mouse wheel in and out. It will take a little bit getting used to. Some things won't appear unless you're zoomed in close enough or you're near another astral body. Double click to zoom into a moon or station. Left click to select a destination, and then click on the set destination to mark the location on your map and get it ready for quantum travel. I'd recommend you accept a mission and then see where that mission is and plot a course there, or just select Daymar, for example, to travel to on the star map. To travel to that location, exit the mobiGlas, and from the cockpit of your ship, press B. This will activate the quantum travel mode. You then want to align your cursor to the location that you want to travel to on your screen. This will calibrate your drive, counting to 100%. Press B once again to spool your drive, and then again it will count to 100% to spool it, and then hold B to initiate quantum travel. Interdiction. Be aware that you can be pulled out of quantum travel by pirates. You will have to either fight them off or request help via the service beacon combat assist, which you can find in the contract manager, the mission section again, of the mobiGlas. You can also request transportation if you get stuck or want to be taken elsewhere. Hurston, Lorville and its moons are the big additions in 3.35, but they are on the other side of the system from where you spawn. You will have to wheel out a long way on the star map to see where Hurston is. Quantum travelling there can take between 5 and 12 minutes based on what quantum drive your ship has. In comparison, moving between the moons around Crusader only takes a few seconds each. During your travels or on the way to Lorville, you might run out of quantum fuel, though the system warns you if you're going to run out en route. If this happens, then you may want to redirect to a landing zone or rest stop. Rest stops can be found in the areas of space between Crusader and Hurston with the prefix CRU typically. These are basically just asteroid fields. When you land at a landing zone or rest stop, you must first request landing clearance via your mobiGlas. Then in the contacts panel in the bottom left, click the star arrow icon for the landing zone you wish to request access to. This will then either put you in a queue to land if there's a lot of ships about or other people have already landed, or mark a landing area for you straight away. Make sure you put your landing gear down with N before you actually land, otherwise you will have a bumpy landing. And then when you're over the area you wish to land on, tap Control to go down and land, or hold the N button. This will auto land you once you're close enough. Landing in the incorrect area can get you a criminal rating. Criminal ratings wear off in time though. Rest stops and the major landing zones have services, so rearm, repair and refuel, which when you are landed you can access from your mobiGlas. Click the services, the spanner button, choose the services that you want and then click confirm. You can use a service beacon to call for help if you are really caught short in the middle of space. Someone might come and help you, pick you up and take you somewhere. Otherwise, I recommend you get out of the chair in your ship by pressing H and then holding backspace, which will kill yourself and then you'll be able to respawn and get another ship out or claim your ship back. Landing at Lorville is similar to any other landing zone, but a little bit more daunting and on a larger scale. When you're coming into Lorville, you are aiming for the center of the city, because that's where the landing zone effectively is. That's where the starport is. Once you're close, you want to request a landing. Lorville does have a no-fly zone over the city. This takes the form of an orange shield that will appear when you're close to it. The shield will effectively kill your ship if you touch it, so be aware of that. The landing part of the spaceport where you can land at the center doesn't have a shield, obviously. Upon leaving certain landing zones, Levski and Lorville, you may need to mobiGlas the landing services to open the roof and hangar access in the same way that you requested a landing. On a side note, with Lorville, getting around Lorville and like transitioning between the areas there is a train network, a metro, that links all these areas together. And there's 3 main areas that you'll want to travel to. The spaceport, L19, or the workers district, and the gates. So there's 6 gates around Lorville as well, which each take you to a different exit, effectively, of Lorville on the ground, where you can also spawn a ground vehicle or enter the city if you wish to. Lorville is very clearly labelled with the metro network and how to get from one area to another, so just sort of like look at the signs and you will be fine. Trains at the moment only go to one destination or back to their original destination. There's not multiple stops en route or anything. It's pretty simple. They either go to one of the gates or the spaceport or go back to the metro centre in L19. Combat. Some missions or parts of the game may require you to engage in ship-to-ship combat. Targeting hostile ships and probes can be done by pressing Y to select the closest enemy. Press T. By default, your weapon groups will be left and right mouse button. There is a lot going on with combat, but just try to keep the pip on the target while you fire if you're new. If you want to land on a moon, travel to one first, and then once you're nearby, you can press B without setting an additional destination on your mobiGlas. You will see local destinations that you can just calibrate and spool your drive to. This can also be local stations. Press B to spool your drive again after you've calibrated to the location that you want to go to, and this can be a specific outpost or a location on the actual moon, and then hold B again to quick travel to just above that location. You can do it to orbital markers as well, which are dotted around. And then you can travel down to the surface quicker. Be sure to press N to deploy your landing gear when you're very near the surface, and try not to come straight down like a missile. Holding Shift will use Afterburner, allowing you to travel much quicker while moving in a straight line. It does burn Afterburner fuel though, so bear that in mind. You don't have an infinite amount of that. Use this to get to the surface quicker or escape enemies. Also, when outside on a moon or in space, you do have an oxygen gauge. You'll need to enter a ship or building to refill it at this stage. You can also get oxygen pens, but that's more advanced. Transport missions may require you to pick up a box and deliver it elsewhere. Just read the mission and follow the waypoints. They are normally detailed enough so that you don't get too lost. Some of the outposts on Moons and Hurston will allow you to spawn vehicles. Around Lorville, it has 6 gates, and you can spawn a vehicle at each one of these gates too. Backspace will force kill you. This is very useful if you get stuck. Also, if you need to self-destruct your ship for some reason because of a bug, press backspace. That will initiate self-destruct. Shopping. There are various shops and facilities around the game with terminals where you can buy and sell items. You can go over to an item as well on a shelf and hold F to interact with it, and then left click on it, either buy or inspect. Inspecting will kind of look at the item in a bit more detail. Using the terminals, you can buy and sell cargo directly to a ship. FPS or ship equipment can be bought and equipped via the Vehicle Loadout Manager, the ship icon, and the Equipment Manager, the character icon on the mobiGlas. Go ahead and mess around with them. Equip different weapons and items that you buy onto your ship. If you've got a Mustang or an Aurora, it is worth upgrading to 4 weapons, so you start off with 2. Shops and facilities have different inventories, and they are all part of a dynamic economy, which is heavily in flux and being tested at the moment. So expect things to change quite rapidly, but you can make money by cargo hauling and that sort of jazz as well. Ship purchasing is in game as well, so Teaches at Levski on Delamar and New Deal at Lorville and Hurston allow you to buy ships. They are incredibly expensive at the moment. Eventually we will be able to rent ships in game as well. You can join a group or manage your contacts by pressing F11. On the right side, you can see anyone that's in your game session, and you can right click on them and then either add them to your group or add them to your contacts list for more permanent contact. They then appear on the left of your screen in your contacts if you've added them there. People that you've added to your group will appear on the right in manage. Clicking on the little diamond arrow symbol will call that person as well. And if you've got VoIP and FOIP set up, you can literally talk to that person. That is also assuming that the feature is working at the time. Or you can approach a player and hold F on them and invite them to party or your contacts list straight from there. Party members have the ability to open doors on your ship freely, and they can see each other marked on the HUD, so you don't lose each other very easily. Face and voice over IP allows you to communicate in-game. To use VoIP, you need to turn it on in the comm settings in the options, then press calibrate. Your character will now be able to make silly faces. Numpad minus will allow you to see yourself in a selfie cam. Numpad star will calibrate your camera quickly. VoIP requires you to be in a channel, either group or global, so you can literally do this by going into contacts and selecting the channel that you want to be in. Global will talk in your proximate vicinity. There are sort of like ranges of VoIP. To talk, you need to push numpad plus. That is your push to talk key. You can change all these keys, obviously, in the control settings. I have a video going over the finer points of setup for those features, which I will link below. If you die, you will respawn at the last major location you visited. Port Olisar, Grimhex, Levski, or Lorville. If you want to log out and save your location elsewhere, you can if your ship has a bed. Go to it and interact with it, and then while you're laying down, hold F again and select log out. When you log back in, you should be where you left your ship and in your bed. If you're detected doing anything criminal, like attacking a lawful green player or NPC unprovoked, you will get a criminal rating, as will not following correct landing procedure will get you a criminal rating. You will see a little comm satellite symbol if you are in danger of being detected, I suppose. If that symbol's not there, then you can't really be done for any criminal activities. Some missions are accessed by being a criminal as well. There is a lot of interactivity that you can do with your ship and the verse too. Power allocation is now more implemented into the game. When in a cockpit seat, you can hold F to look around the cockpit and interact with various settings. You can interact with the multifunction displays, little screens as well, allowing you to move the power around to certain systems or even overclock them. You can go into multi-crew stations in other ships as well. You can go into turrets. Turrets now have gyro stabilization as well. You can toggle it on by pressing G. This enables the turret to aim at a target while the ship is doing crazy maneuvers. Items and weapons can overheat, becoming disabled briefly, and also damage can cause issues with maneuverability for ships as well. Even now, there is a huge amount going on with the game. So what else is there to do? Well, there's cargo hauling. You can find trade routes for items to take them from one area to another, make some profit that way. Mining, if you have a prospector or if you buy one in game. Obviously, there's the ability to purchase ships and items, so there's a lot of customization and progression there now. Missions, so there's delivery and maintenance missions. They have you fetching and delivering. There's investigation missions, which have you finding out info and then uploading it, or finding a body within a derelict ship. There's mercenary and ECN missions, which have you doing combat, either in just sort of like patrol sort of areas, or where you're defending a target that's being attacked, or maybe it has you destroying a series of probes. Some mercenary missions may even task you to kill FPS AI at Security Post Korea. Will have you going on foot to shoot people, basically. There are various mission givers, Recco Battaglia, Ruto, and Miles Eckhart around Crusader, more specifically in Grimhex and Levski, that will offer you missions. Ruto and Miles Eckhart are very much triggered by earning a certain amount of reputation, basically by doing other missions, whereas Recco will just occasionally give you an appointment to meet her, and they're basically all appointment-based missions. They will come in under appointment, where you will then see where that mission giver is, and it will sort of guide you down to them. There's a huge amount of fun that can be had by joining an organization or a group. I participate in large-scale ship battles every week or so, and more recently we've been able to play with multiple corvettes and fighters all fighting each other together in this huge battle royale melee thing that's going on. It's pretty good fun, and it's very pretty as Star Citizen. Exploring Lorville, Hurston's biomes, facilities, its moons, and outposts is all pretty cool as well. There are also scramble race missions in the verse now that are PvP death races on ground or in space. Basically, there are 3 classes of them: bikes, buggies, or ships. Make sure you read the mission before you take it, basically. When you take that mission as well, you'll be given an area where the race will start. Typically, it will suggest a nearby outpost that you can spawn a vehicle if it's on the ground. In space, you'll get points for destroying the beacons. On the ground, you'll get points for getting to the beacons first. In all 3 types of race, you will get points for killing the race leaders as well. Guns, pew-pews are enabled. Something else I should have mentioned, scanning. So if you want to scan something down, because some of these missions require you to scan down a probe, or you might have to go and find something in particular, or you might be scanning because you're looking for rocks in the prospector, some minables. You want to press tab, and then you can hold down left click and release it to release a ping, which will then show you the general area of where something interesting may be. And that's it for my much longer than intended quick start guide for Star Citizen Alpha 3.3.5. If you do have any questions about any of the gameplay mechanics, please check out the rest of the videos on my channel, but also in the comments below, chuck them in any questions you got, and I'll try and answer them, or someone helpful from my community will. If you haven't created a Star Citizen account yet, be sure you do with the links below to receive an additional 5,000 UEC, the in-game currency, and to participate in any free flight. Every month we have a ship giveaway. For November, I am giving away a Saber Raven, Star Citizen game package, and a CitizenCon 2948 digital goodies pack. All you need to do to be in for a chance of winning is be subscribed to my YouTube channel and comment on any of my videos made during the month. More details below. If you would like to further support the channel, the links to my Patreon and donations are down in the description below as well. If you are considering getting or upgrading your gaming PC for Star Citizen, or any other game for that matter, instead consider the Shadow Cloud gaming service. It's a subscription-based service that leverages your internet connection to turn any appropriate device, whether it be an old PC, smartphone, tablet, and more, into a powerful Windows 10 gaming PC. It's been working well in the latest 3.3.0 PTU patch of Star Citizen. I'm going to try and maintain a best practices guide on my website as well. More information is available in the links below, and if you do decide to try it, use the code BoredGamer to get a discount. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the verse.